to help. Yeah, he needs a permit to get to Paris. Gee, that would be swell, Adolf. Shall I have him pick it up, or will you send it round? Oh, God bless you, Adolf, and Heil freaking Hitler. Or maybe you call it Herman or Joseph. Because you see, Wilhelm, I think you made a deal. Yeah, I think you made a deal. You shook the devil's hand and you became real close to him and his cohorts. You were so close, you were in the same shit houses, and you could have wiped their asses for them. Emmy, how the hell can you take notes with your damn fingers in your ears? Emmy! Wilhelm, this is Emmy Stroud. She's a very sensitive girl. So how many Jews you live there?
I have no idea.
Oh, that many, huh?
I'm not going to defend myself by trumpeting numbers. May I ask a question?
Sure, go ahead.
When will my case be heard by the tribunal?
Your guess is as good as mine.
I recently visited your colleagues in Wiesbaden, the American occupation authorities, those charged with assisting my defense. They were extremely polite and helpful.
Well, this isn't Wiesbaden, and I'm not here to defend you.
I need to work. I need to make my living. I have been living off the generosity of friends.
Tough. These things take time.
Then why is it, please, that another conductor, who was actually a member of the party, I believe he joined Pfizer, why has he already been cleared and is working again, while I have to wait and wait and wait?
I've never heard of him. He's not on my case.
And why is it, please, that on good authority I have learned that certain high-ranking Nazi scientists are being, even as we speak, transported to the United States to work on missiles and rocket fuels?
That's what we call the spoils of war, Wilhelm. Different professions, different rules. So tell me, why did you escape to Switzerland in January last year?
What?
Why did you escape to Switzerland last year?
Because I learned the Gestapo were about to arrest me.
And why were you going to be arrested?
I'm not absolutely certain, but I believe it was because of another letter I'd written to Goebbels, lamenting the decline in musical standards due to racial policies.
Oh, you didn't complain about the racial policies, just a decline in musical standards, is that it? So, how did you learn the Gestapo was out to get you?
During an enforced hour-long interval because of a power failure at a concert at Blüthner Hall here in Berlin, Albert Speer, the Minister of Armaments, said to me casually, "You look very tired, Maestro. You should go abroad for a while." I understood exactly what he meant.
Albert Speer. Is that the same Albert Speer who's now sitting beside your friend Baldur in the dock in Nuremberg, also charged with crimes against humanity? You sure knew a lot of people in high places.
It would be truer to say a lot of people in high places knew me.
Don't get smart with me, because all of your friends seem to be a bunch of criminal bastards. And I know and you know you were close to all of them. To Adolf, and Herman, and Joseph, and Baldur, now Alvarez. Make a call, a Jew is saved. Write a nasty letter, Albert says leave town. So, let's tell the truth, Wilhelm. Let's come clean. What was your party number?
If you are going to bully me like this, Major, then you had better do your homework. You obviously have no idea how stupid and impertinent your remarks are.
David, you remember I said there was one question that Wilhelm wouldn't be able to answer? Well, I'm going to ask it now. You ready, Wilhelm? Take your time. It's tough. Why didn't you get out right at the start when Adolf came to power in 1933? I have names here of people who did get out in 33. Bruno Walter, Otto Klemperer.
But they were Jews. They had to leave. They were right to leave. I love my country and my people. I could not leave my country in her deepest misery. To have left in 1933 or 34 would have been shameful. I remain here to give comfort, to see that the glorious musical tradition, of which I believe I am one of the guardians, remained unbroken, was intact when we woke from the nightmare. I remained because I believed my place was with my people.
You see, he can't answer the question. So I'll ask it again, Wilhelm, and don't give me any more airy-fairy bullshit.
I have given you my reasons, and I only hope, Major, that you will be this hard on other artists who stayed in their countries. Shostakovich, Prokofiev, Eisenstein, especially Eisenstein with his films glorifying tyranny. But you could accuse them all of glorifying tyranny.
Well, I never heard of any of them. They're not on my list.
Why would you, Major? They're Russians.
Russians? Yeah, Russians.
Major Arnold's office. Major Richards for Lieutenant Wills.
Wills. Yes. Should I tell him? Major Richards would like a word.
I have had enough of this. I'm leaving now.
I don't think that would be advisable.
What?
Dr. Quickmango, when I was 10 in 1932, my father, he was a publisher. He allowed me to accompany him on a business trip here to Berlin. I believe it was the second evening of that visit. He took me to see the Philharmonic. I don't recall the whole program, but I do remember that you conducted both Beethoven's Egmont Overture and the Fifth Symphony. I believe you concluded with the overture to Tannhauser. You opened a new world to me, more than a world, like waking from sleep for the first time. I mean, me, a mere child of 10, like waking from sleep. And you showed me this place where there was absence of misery. And ever since I first heard you, music has become central to my life, my chief comfort. And you can clearly see I've needed comfort. And I thank you for that, Dr. Burbank.
I too. Thank you.
Fräulein,
Straub?
wann haben Sie mich zum ersten Mal als Dirigent erlebt?
Hier, in Berlin. 1943.
Well, David, I have to hand it to the British. You know what I call those guys? Decent. Wilhelm, tell me, you ever heard of Hans Hinkel?
Have I heard of Hans Hinkel?
Why does everybody have to repeat my question?
Have I ever heard of Hans Hinkel?
See, there he goes again.
Yes, I've heard of him. He's a despicable human being. Ask Bruno Walter. It was Hinkel who personally drove him out. You know what his job was with the Ministry of Culture? To get rid of Jews in the arts. And since the most talented artists were inevitably Jewish, he was seldom idle. I could recount his persecution of my former secretary, Berta Geismar, herself a Jewess, but I will not bore you with a chronicle of cruelty, meanness, and mendacity.
Yeah, sounds like the same guy. And you know what else this little creep did? He kept files, close on to 250,000 files. And you know what's in those files?
How should I know?
Oh boy, you're going to love this. Those files contain, wait for it, the details of every artist working in this country for, guess who? That's right, Wilhelm, your old pals, Adolf and Herman and Joseph. These files are going to tell us when all of you joined the party, who informed and who was helpful. And what's more, these files are full of love letters to your aforementioned pals, swearing everlasting loyalty. Isn't that something? A file on every one of you. Some guy, that Hinkel.
I should like to leave now.
Oh, I bet you would. So why don't you? See, we have work to do, sifting through those files. And that'll take some time, I guess. So get out of here. And we'll call you back when we're good and well. We got him! Do you see how the moment I mentioned Hinkel, he wanted out? Emmy, give David a list of the witnesses and get us some more coffee, will you? David, here's what I want you to do. These are pretty much verbatims of my interrogations. We'll have to compare what the bastards told me with the info in Hinkel's files. I mean, this is like Aladdin's cave. To think the Russians had the whole Hinkel archive in their hands before the city was divided, and they didn't know what the hell it was. You know what they're doing now? Shitting razor blades. Turn that damn thing off. We can't hear ourselves think.